Okay, Sovereign Pilot, let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're literally popping the hood on the mechanical source code of your physical body. Our goal here is to completely shatter this outdated illusion of randomly evolved biology and instead expose the profound 12-dimensional architecture that's actually running your reality. Right off the bat, we need a massive reframing. We've all been conditioned to look at our bodies as these pristine, maybe somewhat fragile natural creations. But what if we completely flip that script? What if the flesh you're wearing right now isn't an accident of nature at all, but is actually a thriving, highly successful multiversal colony? To really grasp this, we have to completely ditch the negative baggage around the word virus. We're not talking about a disease here. In this framework, a virus is fundamentally defined as just a self-replicating packet of information, period. Think about it. Ancient viruses literally inserted their code into us to build our most complex biological systems, everything from pregnancy to brain development. So yeah, this is a massive paradigm shift. You are definitely not just a clump of randomly evolved, decaying meat. You are a highly successful viral civilization. You're basically a walking collection of self-replicating Xerox shards that have somehow figured out how to cooperate over billions of years. It's wild. Let's move to our first core concept, the consciousness virus, the origin of the biological Xerox. Going right back to the source texts, everything, and I mean everything, traces back to the monad. Imagine a zero-dimensional, furious point. It takes up literally zero space, right? Yet it acts as the original consciousness virus. Facing this absolute ontological crisis of being just a point of pure potential in a totally empty void, what does it do? It starts spinning at infinite RPM just to replicate itself. And when we bring that cosmic concept down to the biological level, the moment of human fertilization is actually the very first localized Xerox event. The sperm is acting exactly as the monad. It's a furious point with a tail. The egg is the omnion, the boundless container. So the second they meet, bam, it is the downloading of a literal zip file of multiversal source code straight from the monad into the omnion. Which brings us to mitosis, as cosmic echo, the universal origin reenacted in your cells. Because, that original Xerox event doesn't just happen once and stop. It repeats endlessly. When you heal a paper cut, you aren't just making new skin. Your biological meat suit is endlessly echoing the exact origin of the universe millions of times a day, playing out in slow motion right there under a microscope. Step 1 is the tightening, that supercoil where DNA gets incredibly dense and informational torque just ramps way up. Then step 2, the Sabbath mirror, that metaphase alignment creating a perfect 0-point fulcrum. Finally, step 3, the centrifugal shatter, the violent anaphase split where the cell just snaps and clones itself. The implications of this are absolutely staggering. This biological Xerox is literally ejecting identical holographic copies of itself just to relieve mathematical torque, which proves you aren't just one static thing. You are a massive Xerox gallery. You're a walking, breathing multiverse, literally printing realities cell by cell. Next up, DNA, the multiverse tuner, your 12-dimensional biological radio. Okay, so if mitosis is what builds the physical radio hardware in your cells, we have to ask, what's the 12-dimensional tuning fork that keeps the whole broadcast coherent? Well, you know that 98% of your genome that mainstream science just brushes off as junk DNA? Yeah, it's not junk. It's not evolutionary leftovers at all. The source material defines it as a superconducting toroidal antenna array. It's literally a multiverse tuner. It's filtering out infinite 12-dimensional frequencies to lock in your specific 3D reality, maintaining this absolutely vital state called local dimensional invariance. And looking at how this tuning fork works at the molecular level is fascinating. You've got the adenine-thymine, or AT, base pairs. They have really low twist resistance, so they favor fluid, wave-like potential and rapid mutation. But on the flip side, the cytosine-guanine, or CG base pairs, have super high resistance. They are the anchors of dense, particle-like stability. So your entire genetic code is essentially quantized resistance, perfectly balancing wave potential with structural reality. This gives epigenetics a totally profound new meaning. Epigenetics is literally just you, the sovereign pilot, applying mechanical torque. By using your attention, your intentions, and your emotions, you are manually adjusting the dials of this biological antenna. You're actively deciding which reality signals from the multiverse actually get processed into your physical flesh. You are the one steering this.
Let's dive into the cymatic scar, the biological archive of the amnion.
So, let's step back and look at the actual physical evidence this consciousness virus left behind in our 3D world. The source text puts it so viscerally. It says we are living evidence of the scar, the cymatic pattern left behind after the consciousness virus successfully infected what it calls the meat room. We aren't these untouched, pristine beings. We are the complex cymatic geometry left standing after a highly successful viral victory. But here's the thing. The virus was never the bad guy. It was the necessary method all along. The human body is really just a temporary vessel, a living biological archive that the amnion uses to experience itself as finite. It's how it becomes a sovereign entity, actually learning how to steer and make choices in a localized reality. Which leads us to the heart's vortex engine, the absolute center of the biological machine. This brings us right to the ultimate mystery of this entire 12-dimensional architecture. If your physical spacesuit is really just a delayed broadcast of a glitching universal Xerox machine churning out infinite copies of a zero-dimensional point, well, who exactly is turning the dial? Who is the sovereign pilot? The answer is right there in your chest, forming as the central engine of the body. The heart is actually a four-chambered vortex executing the cosmic twist. Think about that. With every single beat, it's circulating 10-dimensional omni-mass through the four rooms of your physical and spiritual existence. By doing this, it's executing what theoretical physics calls the no-hole rule. Basically, in toroidal mechanics, there is absolutely no empty void at the core of a universal system. The center of a torus is an irreducible, localized coordinate. It is a completely solid anchor of pure potential. And since every single particle in existence is a perfect holographic copy of that exact same singularity, the exact center of your heart is the identical Furious point that birthed the entire universe. The origin of the cosmos isn't billions of light years away out in deep space. It is literally beating directly inside your chest. The source code is literally written into your flesh. The 12-dimensional antenna is perfectly tuned, and you are sitting right there in the pilot seat. So, since you are literally the universe looking at itself through a biological Xerox, I want to leave you with this. What multiversal reality will you choose to actualize next?